Alrighty, anticipation. This is the name of the game. This is the main menu you're currently looking at. You can exit the game, but I'm not going to do that just yet. You can go settings, but there's no, that doesn't do anything just yet. This was a volume slider, but it's not hooked up currently. And the full screen button is the hitbox for the button is somewhere off screen, so that's an easy fix. There's continue. This isn't a feature yet because the game is so short that it doesn't warrant having its existence. But eventually, when the game's longer, I'm going to add that. And start. Tis the game. You can move around, you can shoot around, you can pause. And this is the pause menu. Basically, you can quit, you can go back to the main menu, you can see some controls, or you can resume. The reason that the character is looking around, like I can't move the character, but the reason it's looking at the mouse is because the script doesn't have a method to, you know, stop it from doing that. But everything else in the game is paused, like if you see the sparks there, they're paused, and then I unpause them. I'm going to demonstrate the lose condition by moonwalking into the enemy. And as you saw, my health went to 0, and I have a score of 0 because I didn't kill anything. The reason there's no respawn button instead making the player go from the death screen to the menu to the actual game is because well, I like the idea that they have to go on this mouse journey in order to actually get back to the game. So basically, whenever you see a tank, that means that's an enemy that's respawned. Basically, I kill an enemy, so there was a turret here, and I killed it. And it randomly respawns in the level because I didn't assume. I placed down some respawn points, and it randomly picks one and then puts the enemy there. But instead of it doing the enemy prefab of the turret, it's a prefab of the tank. This is a door, remember that it's here. I'll come back to that in a little bit. As you saw there, the tank went through the wall. That was intentional. At first it wasn't, it was a bug, but I liked it, so I kept it. The reason it's happening is because the layers for the tank and the wall, they're on different layers and they're non-interactable, so they just pass right through each other. And the nav mesh, since there's a floor underneath this wall, it counts it, and so the tank just kind of zooms through. Oh yeah, there's a secondary, and there's a primary. I only really use the secondary in order to like shoot opponents around walls. See, I would have died there if I went into the open. Eventually, I'm gonna add a skin to the tank, so like it makes sense that it can go through walls. But right now, it functions as like perfectly. So I'm gonna do that eventually in the future, but not right now. Press the button to the door. I don't really need more health right now, so I won't actually walk all the way over there, but just let me know that the door that I showed you before is opened through that button. Oh my god. That's such an unlucky spawn. Around like 6 enemies there. So the reason that there were so many tanks there was because there's 4 respawn points in this room. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The reason that there's so many in this room is because since it's randomly generated what like spawn point the enemy's going to go to, means that there's a higher chance of enemies spawning in here than out there in the level. And that's intentional because that means the more greedy you are at the top of the level. Like the more enemies you kill, the more points you get. There are more enemies that are going to be down here, making it so it's a little bit harder on those who are just going for points. Eventually I am going to add a delay on the respawn, because otherwise it's a bit hard, but yeah, we're fine now. Level 2. I think this is my favourite level. It's the mall level, as you see from the advertising. It's basically a mall and a prison at the same time, because the only way to leave the level is through gates, like it's much like this one, but all the gates in the level are like shut and locked, so you can't actually leave, and you can't go into any of the stores except the bottle shop. This button opens up all the gates, making it possible to leave the level, but in doing so, if you press in the button, if you do press the button, then it spawns enemies all over the level. Much like that. This level's quite fun. You have to survive for 35 seconds. You can make it really easy on yourself by just sitting here and doing nothing, but you won't get any points for that. So to spawn more enemies in, you just swap the button there and go to town. This makes it so it's a lot harder to survive, and then you also get a lot more points. And we won. Yeah. Those animations took ages, by the way. I had to put like click and drag materials on each pixel. Actually make it look like that. It's so long. But yeah, that's the game. Thank you for watching.